Hey, what's up guys? How are you doing? Isn't it a good day today to learn how to become a house hacker level 99? That's right. I'll be talking about my personal experience as a professional house hacker. How I lived for free for almost 8 years now. Moving from a small town house to a big renovation project with tenants living upstairs and downstairs and even in my driveway at the same time. And after this crazy experience, I moved into a high-end triplex with a private backyard and a triple car garage just for myself. And through all of this, I was able to live for free. So stick around to learn exactly how I did it, why I'm living it, and how you too can do it. Coming up. Hey guys, thanks for showing up. My name is Alex Boileau. I'm a realtor and a real estate investor, and today we're talking about house hacking. So, for those of you who have no idea what it is, just know that it's an art, it's a way of living, it's even a religion. No, it's not. It only means that you're renting out a portion of where you live, like renting out 2 bedrooms out of your 3 bedroom apartment, or let's say that you're living in a fourplex and you're renting out the 3 other units to tenants. So house hacking basically means that you are living for cheap or for free because your tenants are paying you enough in rent to cover all of your living expenses. You can use this strategy by renting out a property, but the most profitable way to do this is by purchasing the property. You're usually looking at properties that have between 1 and 4 units, and the goal is to put only 5% as a down payment or even less whenever possible. So now that we know what it is, let's dive right into my first house hacking deal. So I bought my first property with a partner about 8 years ago when I was a combat engineer in the military, and my goal was to start investing in real estate, but I also knew that I needed to stop paying rent to somebody else. So with only 5% down, I purchased a small 1,200 square foot townhouse, valued at $245,000 at the time. It had 4 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms, and my thinking was that I could live in it while renting out the other bedrooms to cut down my living expenses. So as soon as I started to look for roommates, I realized how well it was gonna work, especially when people started to bid each other out to rent my bedrooms. So we ended up living 7 adults in this 4 bedroom, 1,200 square feet townhouse. 3 couples and 1 single guy living in the basement's bedroom. It was totally crazy, but the numbers were just too good to stop this frenzy. So I did this for about 3 years. And now, let's look at the numbers and see how much I was paying to live there. So for the townhouse, we have a mortgage payment of $150 per month, an insurance cost of roughly $100 per month, property taxes are roughly $170 per month, utilities, I'm including all of it in this calculation. So we're talking about Netflix, cable, internet, gas, electricity, water, sewer, garbage removal, like everything. Because it's part of my housing expenses, so I want to include all of it in my house hacking calculation. We're also adding 5% for repairs and general maintenance. So it's usually 5% of the gross rental income. For now, it's $100 for a grand total of $2,020 in expenses. And for the incomes, we have bedroom number 1, I'm living in it, there's no income. Bedroom number 2 and 3 are getting each $800. Bedroom number 4 is getting $650 because it's a smaller bedroom and it doesn't have a closet. So total income is $2,250. Income minus expenses equals $230 cash flow per month. Times 12 equals $2,760 cash flow annually. And because we're house hacking instead of renting, I'm gonna go ahead and add the principal paid on the mortgage over the period of 1 year as profit in our calculation. So if we're adding up the $2,760 plus the $6,780, it equals to $9,540 total profit for the year. And keep in mind that I'm still living for free in the property, all housing expenses paid for. But not everything was perfect. This type of house hacking is probably the toughest one to cope with because you're living with so many people in the same unit. So privacy can be an issue, noise and cleanliness is also not easy to deal with, but it's a very great way to get into real estate with 5% down, cover your living expenses, and even make some cash flow. You also don't need to buy something expensive with this strategy. Just look for a property that has as many bedrooms and bathrooms as possible while staying on a tight budget, and numbers should generally make sense. Living with 3 to 4 roommates should also be more than enough to help you smash the like button. So after 3 years, me and my girlfriend wanted to house hack again, but into a bigger place with more privacy, and we wanted to get some sweat equity by doing a renovation project at the same time. So we bought an older bungalow style property that we could divide into 2 separate apartments, and after the renovations, we would end up having a 3 bedroom, 1 bath apartment upstairs and a 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom apartment in a basement, each unit being about 1,000 square feet. And again, we purchased the property with 5% down. The value at the time was around $275,000. So we moved directly into the basement and we did a mix of bedroom rentals with Airbnb with the 3 bedrooms that were upstairs. While I was renovating the entire basement, we quickly realized that it was gonna take more money and more time than what we originally expected. So we decided to maximize our potential income by renting out our driveway. The thing is, we actually rented it out to 2 people living in a camper that needed to use our newly renovated bathroom in the basement. This guy is a real badass. And if this wasn't enough, we also decided to rent out a room in our basement while we were renovating. No need to say that it became absolutely hectic and even more than in the townhouse. But let's look at the numbers to understand why we actually did this. So for the duplex bungalow style, we had a mortgage payment of $1,290 per month, an insurance cost of $110, property taxes were about $200, utilities at $600. Because the property was a little bit bigger than the townhouse and we were even more people living in there. Another 5% for repairs and maintenance, which equals to $150, for a total expense amount of $2,350. As per the income, 3 bedrooms upstairs, so first bedroom was renting out at $750, second bedroom $750, the third bedroom was at $700 because it was slightly smaller. And bedroom number 4 was the basement bedroom that we were renting out for $500. And bedroom number 5 was still in the basement, and that's where I was sleeping. And let's not forget the driveway that we were renting out. So they were paying $450 a month to park in our driveway, for a total income of $3,150. So $3,150 minus $2,350 equals $800 cash flow per month. This was incredible. So 800 times 12 equals $9,600 cash flow annually. And when you're adding up the principal paid off during the first year, it equals to $17,200 total profit for the year. So on top of living for free in this house, all the additional cash flow that we were getting helped finance the renovations. We ended up gaining a significant amount in added value after all of the renovations were completed downstairs and upstairs, and to this day, it is still cash flowing extremely well. And in fact, it is a strong contender to be one of our best return on investment. This one was actually a real banger. But it wasn't perfect. Even if we were living in a self-contained basement suite after all of the renovations were done, it was still a basement. A bit colder during the winter, and you're exposed to a little bit more noise coming from the unit above, and there wasn't as much natural light coming in. But the biggest issue for us was space. We only had 1,000 square feet, and with a newborn, we quickly realized that we needed bigger to accommodate for future kids, and we wanted 5. So to duplicate a house hack like this one, where you can use your rental income to live for free and finance your renovations, I recommend that you find a property that is run down and way undervalued so that you can gain a significant amount of value after your renovations are completed. Rent all of the bedrooms to maximize your income and sleep in the living room or in the basement while you're renovating. And if you are converting the property into 2 self-contained suites, renovate 1 suite at a time and live in the one that you are renovating while renting the other to maximize your rental income. But before we get into the good stuff, I'd like to know if you'd ever be willing to live in the middle of a renovation project while renting out every available bedrooms in the property, like a true house hacker. Let me know in the comments down below. And here it is, the pinnacle of house hacking. So far, we've seen that you can live for free with enough roommates. We've also seen that you can live for free in a hub-down duplex in your own self-contained suite. But is it possible to live for free in a high-end property with barely no compromise? Well, let's see the third property that we moved into. So we bought a $750,000 triplex to move into. But as you guys know by now, I don't like to pay for my living expenses, so the numbers had to make sense. So the biggest apartment is the one that we're living in. It's 2,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 1 office, and 2.5 bathrooms. And I get to have my private fenced backyard as well as a triple car garage. And the unit is also fairly high-end with quartz countertop, 10-foot high ceilings, a jacuzzi, and a gas fireplace. So as you can see, this was the ultimate test to see how far we could push house hacking successfully. So now, let's look at the numbers. And now for the triplex. The mortgage payment is roughly $3,100 per month. Insurance cost is roughly $180. Property taxes, $540. Utilities are at $700 per month on average. Even though it is a bigger building than the 2 other ones, it is much newer and much more efficient in terms of energy saving. Then we have the 5% for repairs and maintenance sitting at $170 for a total cost of $4,690 per month. And then for the incomes, we have Unit number 1 renting for $2,000 a month on Airbnb. Unit number 2 is renting for $1,400 per month. And unit number 3 is where I live. But you guys remember that we have 4 bedrooms and 1 office space. So the goal was always to rent out 2 out of the 4 bedrooms that we have for $750 a pop. We even went ahead and furnished both of them, but we never ended up renting them out, so I will not calculate the extra income in my calculation, but just know that if we would have rented out these bedrooms, the numbers would have been absolutely crazy. But let's go ahead and subtract $1,500 from the total income for a grand total of $3,400 per month. So let's do expenses minus incomes. We're sitting at minus $1,290 per month in cash flow, which is money that is coming out of my pocket every single month to break even. And when you multiply by 12 minus $1,290, it equals minus $15,480 total loss annually. So this is what it costs me to live in the triplex every year. But we haven't added the mortgage pay down yet. So when we're adding this in, it is $16,400 minus $15,480, which equals to $920 in profit annually without renting any bedrooms in my unit. So at this point, I would like to tell you that there are still some drawbacks when house hacking this way, but I feel that it would be stretching it. Unless you're the type of person that likes to have an open house every weekend and annoy all of your neighbors, it's very hard not to be satisfied with this type of property, right? So as you guys can see, house hacking is scalable, and whatever your needs are, you can find a property that will work. And house hacking can also help you qualify for a higher mortgage amount because of the added income that you will be receiving from your tenants. So keep that in mind while you're smashing the like button. I have calculated how much money I saved in cost of living over the past 8 years, and it comes up to a staggering $240,000. And this is not even counting the massive tax benefit that you get from owning real estate. So if you're still unsure about house hacking because you don't know anything about landlording, well, make sure to check out this video where I talk about the biggest landlord fails to avoid. And this is how you live for free. So now that you are a certified house hacker level 99, go out there and start hacking. I hope you enjoyed the video, and make sure to share it to somebody that you know is spending way too much on his mortgage. But before I go, I would like to invite you to my secret group of professional house hackers. Everybody that joins the group automatically receives a lifetime subscription to the most renowned and expensive